What's good, y'all? It's that boy, Easy Millions, and I'm your host of That Boy ETV. You already know, man, we are back on Marvel Rivals, and as you can see in the background, we're here with another character breakdown, and it's for that boy, Venom, man. Now, let's get right into this. And again, we're talking about Venom. He is a Vanguard with a 3 out of 5 difficulty, a base health of 800, and a movement speed of 6 meters a second, man. Now, Venom is hands down the best hero on Marvel Rivals and the most powerful character in the Vanguard class. He has 800 base health, and his mobility is more than impressive. Additionally, his shield grants him up to 900 temporary HP, and his ultimate has no equal when it comes to enhancing his protection. However, be aware that he doesn't have a good range. Generally, Venom has insane mobility stats, so if you're looking for someone fast and flexible, you definitely love this hero. Yes, he lacks range and he easily gets stunned, but these disadvantages aren't anything to worry about, considering his overall effectiveness. If this isn't enough to convince you, keep in mind that all of Venom's strength combined make him almost unkillable, man. Now, when it comes to Venom, I'm going to say this. He's one of the funner tanks to play, and he is what you would call an aggro tank or an aggressive tank. So he is best played, in my opinion, as diving into the backlines, going after the healers, getting in real fast and coming back, causing chaos. He should never really be attacking from the front. He should always be pretty much coming in from behind, flanking, going in for them people in the back. That's what he's meant for. He's really good at it, and with his survivability, like it said, this man is damn near unkillable, man. But let's get into these abilities, man. The first thing we're going to talk about is his normal attack, which is going to be called Dark Predation. And with this, you unleash tentacles forward to attack enemies. This is a quad cast delay spell field. It has a 15-meter radius, 0.9 seconds, with a 0.1 interval between each tendril. The damage will be 20, and it does have a critical hit on this, man. Now, as you can see, when you're using this, if you're doing body shots, it'll take about 4 body shots in order to go ahead and get a kill on your 275, 250. Now, since it does have a critical hit on it, it will only take 3 actual headshots to kill somebody. So when you're using Venom, you're going to want to make sure you're definitely aiming for the head, man. Now, when it comes to his normal attack, it is somewhat underwhelming, but it does actually hit a little further than you might initially think. So just kind of make sure you're within close range to your enemies when you're using this. But with this standard ability and most of his other abilities we're going to get into, you will realize that pretty much flanking, getting into the middle of the crowd is definitely what you want to do, man. So let's get into this next ability, and it's going to be called Venom Swing. And with this, you launch webbing forward, allowing for a singular swing in the desired direction, man. This is a dash casting. The maximum web length is going to be 30 meters, and the cooldown is 8 seconds, man. Now, as you can see, when you pop this, you will pull out a tendril to help you swing, and you'll be able to go ahead and use this. And this right here is going to be your get out of jail free card. It's going to be your, when you're getting into the back line, you're going to be using this to get out of there real quickly. And you're also going to be using this to get to the back line fairly quickly, as it'll allow for you to maneuver fairly fast. Now, this cooldown right here is pretty good. The 8 seconds on it is a little tricky, so you want to make sure, like, when you dive the back lines for the healers with Venom, you want to get back there, but you want to make sure that your Venom swing is available before you do any of these flanks. This way, when it's time for you to get the hell out of dodge, you have your ability to go ahead and swing your ass up out of there, okay? So make sure you're using this ability to get in and get out, and you're making sure to pay attention to them cooldown times, man. Now, the next thing we're going to talk about is going to be called Symbiotic Resistance. And with this, you grant bonus health against damage. The lower Venom's health, the greater the bonus health generated, man. And this is an instant cast. It has a 15-second cooldown, and it grants 100 bonus health and converts 100% of health loss into bonus health, man. Now, as you can see with this, when you start getting hit by somebody and your health starts to go low, when you pop this, you will actually gain the health back that you've actually lost. And a lot of times, you want to make sure that by the time you use this ability, that you are actually as low as health as possible. This way, you get the most out of the bonus. Now, be aware that once this bonus is popped, it will gradually go away over time. So you want to make sure that basically once you dive in, you have them chunk in your 800 health. Once you get to, I would say, around 200, 250, you probably want to go ahead and pop this. This should put you back over about 1,000 or so, and you should be able to go ahead and either continue the fight there, or you should be able to go ahead and get the hell out of dodge, like we mentioned earlier. Now, this ability here is very, very strong, and this is the ability that essentially makes him unkillable, man. Remember, when you're popping this, you don't want to pop this before you have low health. You want to make sure your health is low before you actually pop this to get the most out of it. Now, we're on to the next ability here, which is going to be called Frenzied Arrival. And with this, you dash to the target location from a certain height. Upon landing, damage nearby enemies, launching them up towards the landing point. This is a targeted cast that has a maximum distance of 40 meters. Range is 6 meters in a spherical radius. The damage is 65 damage, with damage fall off starting at 2 meters from the center of the spell field and increasing to 40% at 6 meters, man. And this has 8 second cooldown. Now, as you can see, when you are like high in the air, you will be able to dive down and do a strike that will bounce the enemy up into the air. And this right here is very good. Like if you're playing convoy or domination, you basically want to get into the back line of the enemy, climb up on a wall somewhere and be hiding. And as soon as they come through, go ahead and pop this ability and pop them up into the air, man. This is a very good ambush move. This move can also be used out of your web sling. So you also want to go ahead and use this as well. If you happen to see it and use it, it's good to go. So again, you can use this out of your web sling, and you can also use it off of a surface. So just make sure that you are taking advantage of the ability as often as possible. This way you can go ahead and get it. I like to use this as like an entry attack with Venom. So basically when you're trying to flank someone, you want to make sure you come in with this first, get that initial entry damage, and then go ahead and continue on. Now again, this move is very useful, especially if you're swinging around, or again, like I said, it's the best way to enter into any group fight that you're about to get into. Again, if you're sitting back there waiting for them, like if you're sitting in their spawn waiting for them to come out, let everyone run past you, and then the last person enter in with this, and then go ahead and keep attacking them, man. You should be able to get some kills that way. Now, the next ability is going to be called Cellular Corrosion, and with this, you unleash tentacles to slow enemies within reach. Enemies unable to break free in time will suffer damage, man. This is a spell field that surrounds the caster. It has an 8 meter spherical radius. The spell field deals 5 damage, increasing to 80 damage if the target remains in the area for a duration. The cooldown is going to be 8 seconds, and the tendrils apply at 15% slow on the target and take 3 seconds to inflict damage. If the distance from Venom exceeds 11 meters, the tendrils will detach. So as you can see with this, when you pop this ability, you will pop it and tendrils will go ahead and grab any enemies near you, dealing damage up to 3 seconds before it inflicts the last 80. Now this ability here is very, very good, especially with his combination of other moves. So if you think of it like this, you come in with the entry frenzy, and then as soon as you come out of that, you pop this ability here, you grab as many enemies as possible, and you try to stay within a certain distance of them to go ahead and get all the damage you need. Now with Venom being a backline diver, this ability here is great. Once he gets in, he goes and does the frenzied entry, then he comes out of that, pops this ability, snags all the people near him so they can't really run away, and as long as he's close enough to them, most of the time people aren't going to be able to get out of 11 meters of your range within the time needed. So you will be able to actually get all this damage off. This is very good. Just make sure you're popping this with as many enemies surrounding you as possible. This way you get the most out of it, man. Now, on to his next ability, which is actually a passive, and this is going to be called Alien Biology. And with this, you can wall crawl, and while wall crawling, you're able to sprint. So as you can see here, Venom is able to wall crawl, very similar to Spider-Man and Penny. Well, more similar to Spider-Man. You can also run while you were here. So this is just a very good movement ability for him. And with this wall crawl ability, you'll be able to hide up in very cheeky places to get flanks, or just to hide up in places that, go ahead and get surprise attacks in on enemies. So make sure you're using this wall crawl as much as possible. You can also use this to hide from enemies. If you're trying to hide and get some heals real fast, you can go to some really hard to reach places that people can't get to you. So make sure you're just taking advantage as much as you can with the wall crawl. Now, the last ability that we need to talk about is going to be his ultimate, and this is going to be called Feast of the Abyss. And with this, you burrow underground for free movement. After duration, devour enemies above to deal damage based on the enemy's current health and generate equivalent bonus health, man. This is a single cast spell field that surrounds the caster. The movement boost will be 80%. The range is a 7-meter spherical radius. The maximum distance will be 4 seconds. Inflicted damage equal to 50% of the target's health, followed by an additional 50 damage. The energy cost is 2,800, and 100% of the damage dealt is converted into bonus health for Venom, man. Now, as you can see, when you pop this here, you will get the symbol on the ground, and if you don't actually pop it enough time, or you can pop it yourself, you will come up and deal damage. Now, this ability here is very, very easy to use and simple. And essentially, I would say the best time to use this is when you're in a fight, you see a lot of low enemies, and you go ahead and go into the ability to go ahead and use it real fast to go ahead and finish off all those little enemies, man. Right here, and then with the free movement, it's pretty good. Sometimes his ultimate can feel a little underwhelming as far as acquiring damage, but the best part about his ultimate is the bonus health that he gets afterwards. So again, whether it's his frenzied entry or with his ultimate, he has two great ways to enter the fight while gaining bonus health and dealing damage at the same time. I'm telling you now, Venom, with this bonus health boost, his actual ability is frenzied. This guy is pretty much hard as hell to kill, man. Now, the last thing we got to talk about is going to be these team-up abilities, and Venom does have one. This one being with both Penny Parker and Spider-Man, and it's going to be called Touch of Clintar. And with this, Venom shares a part of his symbiote with Spider-Man and Penny Parker, activating their symbiote abilities. Spider-Man and Penny Parker can convert their symbiotes into explosive spikes that inflict harm on nearby enemies and relentlessly drive them back. And for Venom, you actually get a team-up boost of 150 plus max health, man. So not only are you already at 800, once you have them, you will have 950 health. Now, if you imagine that, if you allow people to get you down to almost 200 health before you pop your ability, you're looking at well over 1100 health, man. I'm telling you, you will be the tankiest thing in the game. Venom has probably the ability to be the most tankiest tank in the game and one of the hardest people to kill, with his ability to get bonus health and his ability to get in and out of dodge with his swings, and with certain abilities allowing him to go underground. It's just crazy, man. Venom is one of those aggro tanks that every team, I believe, will love to have, as he will be causing massive, massive chaos in them backlines, baby. But this has been another one of them character breakdowns, and I hope y'all enjoyed that, man. But as always, please like, comment, subscribe, follow, share, become a supporter, and catch me streaming on Facebook Gaming and Twitch at That Boy ETV. Now, catch you on the next one. I'm out. Peace.